All right, so thank you everybody for coming today to our circle presentation put on by our lovely Nefri. Oh, we got one more person joining. So just a little bit of housekeeping. We will be recording this. If you do not wish to be recorded, feel free to turn off your camera at any point. We do ask that during the presentation, you keep yourself muted. At the end, you are more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask any questions. If you don't feel comfortable asking it out loud, you're more than welcome to type it in the chat and I will read it back to Nefri. All right, and Nefri, handing it over to you.
All right, awesome. Welcome everybody. It's really nice to see you. Like if we were in person, I'll probably be hugging half of you. So virtual hug or high five, fist bumps. And hopefully everything is going all right. I know these times are a bit challenging, but I hope you're enjoying the weather and each other. Lots of new faces, including lots of new staff members. So how about we take the first couple of minutes to introduce yourselves, and I'm gonna go from the participant list. I can call up your name, or if you feel brave enough to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, you can do so in the chat. And this is for purpose of networking. So we want to make sure that you're not just here and I'm talking to you and lecturing you or sharing some information. We're here to connect. We're here to form circles, to get information as to how we can stay connected and be connected with each other. So main thing about all of the PARO events is to highlight you, that you share your business, that you share what you're doing, and share a little bit about yourself, where you're at. So we can start with that. So I'm Nefri. I'm in Thunder Bay. I am PARO Circle Coordinator, and I'm here to share information with you about PARO Circles and what they are, how you can join, how you can form your own, and what the benefits are of a PARO Circle. So I don't know if we have a volunteer or you would like me to start picking from the top down. So the first one I have is Alicia. If you wanted to either just say in the chat or just unmute yourself and tell us where you're at. And
Oh, hi. Good morning to everyone.
hi.
My name is Alethea. I'm coming to you from Toronto, and actually I'm just taking a walk to Humberwood Park. If people know where that is located, it's in the northwest area of Etobicoke, right behind Humber College. And it's a beautiful conservation area that runs for at least, I'd say, 20 kilometers or more. So it's really nice. Yeah. So I'm going to find a park bench so that I can engage and participate. But this is my first circle, and I am a psychotherapist with a background in mental health. I have worked with young people in ER and also at an adolescent mental health stabilization unit for 2 decades. And I transitioned to work with adults, and I worked in accessibility and offering accommodations to students that were struggling with mental health challenges or medical or physical needs. And I thought it was a good time for me to open up my private practice in October 2020, combining the education of teaching, trauma, and intervention. But I also wanted to work specifically with the Black community and look at the resources and literature that supports the emotional well-being and development of our families, and especially our youth.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much. So yeah, I'm a holistic practitioner. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Alex, and if we just say where you are and a little bit about your business, and definitely, so Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
I was just making sure there wasn't 2 Alexes. I was like, oh, okay, must be me. So I'm in Kapuskasing, Ontario. I'm in the planning stage of starting a business. I'm looking to do a farm to table market and split a retail space with my friend who does plants and floral design. Yeah, here in Kapuskasing. So that kind of stuff, sustainable houseware. So yeah, should be awesome. And we're looking to form a circle. So her and I are looking to form a circle already. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I have 1995, not sure who you are. But if we're not there, we can go to Courtney.
Sure, I can pop on.
Awesome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Courtney. I'm from Toronto. I'm actually in Mexico right now. Been here
Ooh.
the last little while. It just seems like a better option. My business is, I just registered it on, officially registered it on Friday last week.
Congrats.
So exciting because I got a couple of first clients. So I'm like, all right, it's official. But I design and develop online educational programming. So essentially most people think of online courses, do that for academic institutions as well as corporate, and as well as online programs, onboarding and webinars and all that sort of stuff. So
Wonderful.
yeah, fingers crossed it keeps going.
Bienvenida.
Like the other people in the same boat too, just starting out.
Wonderful. Well, bienvenida, as you would say in Mexico. Okay, we got Corey with Deacon. And I'm just going to take a few other more minutes. If you don't want to go, that's all right. We got Deborah, which I think is a staff. You can just mention when you are and what your role is briefly.
Hi, I'm newly joined PARO. I have a position, Reimage for Recovery Project Coordinator, and I'm just here to help support putting this new, the database for business to business to help join you women with larger corporations. It's a new program, and we're getting it all started, and I'm from Rockwood, Ontario.
Awesome. After you, I got Karen Tam.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I can't get my camera on because 5 minutes before I started, the computer told me I had to do an update. So it's running in the background. So hopefully you can just hear what I have to say. Yes. So I'm a fractional chief marketing officer. I recently started my consulting business as well. So my focus is actually on helping small businesses and startups build their marketing capability. And I actually just on Monday started a new project for a client, which is in the video conferencing space. So Courtney, actually, I would love to talk to you because I think there might be some opportunities there. But my interest actually in joining PARO is through a networking group called the Canadian Women in Food, and had met a couple of the women who came and presented to that group. And so a few of us got together and thought we would form our own circle. So I'm here to learn more about what's involved. And we have our first circle meeting tomorrow morning. So I'm here to take down lots of information so I can report it back to my group.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to add, if you are in that stage as Karen is, and if you are not connected with a PARO counselor or a BGA, feel free to send me an email or anyone that you're working with, and we can connect you with so that we walk you through the process together. Okay, so I do see 95, but I'm not sure what your name is there. We can move to you. 19. Okay, rehab. Thank you. Go for it.
And this is my first time joining the circle. I'm so excited.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be with you, ladies, and thank you for the opportunities. I am based in Mississauga, Ontario, and I am creating and developing hair care products for natural hair.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Michelle. That's all right. We got Odyssea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Odessa. I'm from Toronto, and I'm founder of Synergy Link. Synergy Link is a multi-service agency that provides a range of supportive services, from nanny services, doula services, and respite. I've been in this field for about 15 years now, and I'm at the stage of my business where I'm trying to scale, and I'm looking to hire a strong team and move from there. And this is my first time attending one of these meetings. I'm very
Wonderful.
excited to find out more information.
Welcome, welcome. I have Tracy.
Hi, yes, my name's Tracy and I live in Stratford, Ontario. I have had a nursing and public health background, and I have recently returned back to Canada. I lived in the US for quite a few years and I had a little Etsy business there, and I am now in the process of developing another business here in Canada, and it's mostly seamstress, and I'm working on designing some of my own fashion. I also have a product that I created that I'm working on as well. So I'm working on that as far as patent goes, and I'm also trying to connect and network with people to get feedback and to also on the product, and to also connect with people who could help me get the product, improve the prototype, assist me with that, and possibly manufacturing. So I've had a few roadblocks with COVID, as everyone has, and I'm just working on trying to get my business going, and I find it very helpful talking to other women who are dealing with a lot of similar roadblocks. And it's just, I'm very grateful to have come across PARO, and I'm really looking forward to being part of it.
Wonderful. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you.
And then we got Sam, and I believe I'm with it. And then after all the stuff that I didn't get to, you can just feel free to share a little bit about you. So Sam.
Yeah, my name is Samantha. This is my first PARO circle or anything that I'm joining and looking into. I was referred to from another friend and everything that I've met here in North Bay, where I'm from. I have been launching with my husband a small bath bomb and beauty company that we make and sell and everything like that here in North Bay. So we're just looking into ways to grow and everything and networking.
Okay, welcome, Sam. Actually, Deacon, my bad. If you wanted to introduce yourself, go for it.
Hi, I
Thank you,
share the
Renee.
same email with my husband. Okay,
Okay.
and my name is Tammy Robinson. I'm from Thunder Bay. My business is making regalias, and I'm also looking into like, especially for the people that for children that cannot afford it. Like, you know, I'd like to start that up for especially, like, you know, when the children they want to participate in powwows and ceremonies and whatnot. So that's what I do, and that's what my business is, and I'd like to learn more about things that could help me and benefit from my business. Thank you.
Welcome, Deacon. Welcome. So then I have Kezia and Renee from PARO Staff to introduce yourselves, and Melissa, and we can move on.
Hi, so it's pronounced Kezia.
Cassia.
I'm the Capacity Development Coordinator for PARO. I just started last week with Deb, and I think Melissa started at the same time. So I'm going to be helping along with Deborah just develop the database and user-friendly information for the BGAs. My background is in my degrees in communications and multimedia. So I've done this before, and also like PR, and I've done a lot of like online courses, and I became an entrepreneur when I was 17, and I founded a registered charity that promoted positive living through the arts. So I have a lot of experience in what PARO is offering. So I'm here just to like use my skills to add value to the PARO brand, and hopefully make the resources more accessible and inclusive for everybody.
Fantastic. And where were you at, Cassia?
Oh, I live in Burlington, Ontario.
Burlington, Ontario. Wonderful. What's it called? Renee, sorry.
Hi, my name is Renee Gendron. I'm just outside of Ottawa, Ontario. I have a diverse background. I've worked for NGOs. I've worked for academia, in academia. I've also run my own business for the last 12 years. I have worked in agriculture, in training and development. So I'm very familiar with the business grind. I am the Eastern Ontario coordinator for PARO, and that basically means a chunk of territory just south of North Bay, basically to Toronto. And if you know anybody in that area that needs business support services, please feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to serve. Thank you.
Wonderful. I like that, Renee. And like all of the PARO stuff, if you could just put your email and where you're at. So your email and the region where you're at so that everybody that is here can take that contact and walk away with it. And Melissa, the last.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa. I'm living here in North Bay, Ontario. For the last 5 years, I have been at home with my daughter, and I started an at-home business doing creative services for small businesses. So doing content creation, social media management, photography, videography. But I also have a very extensive background in event planning. And back in my heyday, I was an event planner, event and wedding planner out in BC. So I've been helping with small businesses to help them grow their businesses through the power of event planning over the last 5 years. And I just joined PARO last week, and I'll be acting as a business counselor. So I'm very excited to be meeting lots of women throughout Ontario and helping them to grow their businesses.
Wonderful. Awesome. So that covers everyone. I know Linda was here, still here, but she's in Thunder Bay. If you wanted to say a few words, Linda, you may. If not, you can just put that in the chat and we can start with the presentation.
Sorry, ladies, I'm kind of multitasking. That's why I don't have my camera on. I am in Thunder Bay. I'm the business counselor project coordinator for the Breaking Barriers Building Bridges program. My client, my program is contracted by the Ontario Disability Support Program. So those are the clients that I work with. I will absolutely put my address, email address in the chat. If anyone is on supports, you can certainly send me an email and we can talk about my program. And I'm joining the webinar this morning because refreshing is always a good thing. Enjoy, ladies.
Wonderful. Awesome. So it's really nice that you feel like you know each other now, hopefully. Feel free to share your contacts, your links to your business website if you have in it. And so this presentation is a monthly presentation that we do here at PARO, usually delivered by myself, PARO Circle Coordinator, and with the purpose of providing information. And as Linda said, you can attend it as many times every month until you have your circle. To learn and to grasp the concepts and also the processes. However, this is a brief overview. We do, once you are ready, we do have, anyway, lost my train of thought, but this is the info session. And then at the end of the month, we have what it's called a Circle Up event, which is strictly for networking. So at that event, you will be put into Zoom rooms to breakout rooms to just network with each other, to share what your business is, what your goals are to be in a circle, what your purpose is to be in a circle, and also to meet more women and to network. And also once you're ready and you have your women, there's a whole other onboarding and meetings that we walk you through and help you in the process. So this is not something that you're in it alone. You have your PARO counselor and your PARO member to support you and guide you through the process. And if no one is working with you, I am more than delighted to support you in this. Okay, so let's start the presentation. So Yeah, monthly sessions, welcome. So I like to start the presentation with a quote that really sums up what PARO Circles really are all about, and is that if you want to go fast, obviously you would go alone, but if you want to go far and longer, then you want to go with others. And it's just a nice proverb that ties in what the circles are, and is that together you can achieve more, and is that synergy aspect of business, that the um, the whole part is more than the individual units. So together you're better, bigger, and can go farther. So in 1994, PARO was established, and then officially established in 1995. So we have 25 years of working with women. And at that time, PARO's research found that women's micro enterprises really require a lot of capital, and women had difficulty accessing capital. And as we see today, we still have that issue for some reason. Also discover that community economics, economic self-reliance for women, we needed to enhance that, but women were and are still somehow, depending on the culture and the background, a little bit skeptical with financial institutions in terms of borrowing or trusting them because of some, our background or our culture. And also, as women, we don't have the separation in the brain, in a sense that we're all connected. We have family, we have friends, we have work. Everything is one for us. We're multitasking while we're working. We're messaging friends, and so for women, that connectivity, that peer support, was key to have. And so, PARO, that's why they established the peer lending circles, with the purpose of providing a safe, a safe circle, a safe group, a safe environment for ourselves, for women, so that you can come together, trust each other, share with each other what you're doing, get access to finance in that group, get access to peer support, and as well as your one-to-one counseling by having a PARO counselor or business counselor represent you as your circle. So everyone who is forming a circle, who has formed a circle, you will be assigned someone to work with you, whether it's myself or Melissa or Renee, anyone who is here in the call. And by the way, when you work with one of us, you're working with all 30 or plus of us. We are a very big team, and we share best practices amongst each other as to how we can best support you. So what are peer lending circles? Peer lending circles are a group of women, a minimum of 4 up to 7 women can belong to a circle. The group is self-selected, so you get to pick who you want to have in your circle, what diversity you want in your circle, what scale level you want in your circle, and even what stages of business you want in your circle. So you might be a startup, and you might want to have only women who are in the startup phase be part of your circle. Or you might be a very farther ahead business, and you might just want to have women who are, scaling up or growing. Or maybe you are scale up business, but you want to be that mentor to other new businesses, maybe in the same industry or in different industries. So really, it is self-selected, and you get to plan your strategy as your of what members you want to have with your PARO counselor or business counselor. The women who join the circle absolutely need to be at least 18 years of age. And depending on the circle, so we have enterprising Indigenous women joining circles, and we call them enterprising Indigenous circles. So in that circle, you can have family members, your sister, your mom, your cousin, your aunt, all of them be part of your circle. In a non-enterprising Indigenous women's circle, you can have your aunt and your cousin, but not your sister or your mother. So not immediate family members, just extended. And it's for the purpose of, so PARO's mandate is that it's women helping women. So you come together to support each other, to belong to a bigger group of like-minded women that you can share and be a soundboard for each other. You get to network with one another in your communities by just being together, cross promoting your businesses, and also getting access to finance at the same time as you're growing and learning together. You also, the way you would form a circle, I'll do a little bit more dive in detail, and when you are ready, we will do even a bigger dive as to what specifics are to joining and forming your circle. So you would complete the documentation that is required. Being a circle member, it is a paid membership and it's an annual membership, and it's only $20. And you get to establish as a peer lending circle to have your own bank account as your circle. It's definitely something that benefits you, and it will act for the purpose of emergencies. And I will do more on that in a moment. The circle is also required to attend monthly meetings. And the purpose of the meetings is for staying connected. If you are not connected to each other, don't know what you guys are doing, you don't know how to support one another. So if you have monthly meetings, monthly check-ins, then you're more able to give each other that support and be more willing and able to provide and approve each other's loan proposals and grant proposals. So that is what the peer lending circles are. Group of 4 to 7 women who meet together every month for the purpose of supporting each other and approving each other's loans and grants and helping each other. Okay, so as a PARO peer lending circle, you are an extension of PARO. So we do encourage that as a PARO circle member, that you follow the values that PARO has. So cooperating with each other, working together, taking ownership and your role as a circle member, as being part of PARO, taking responsibility and what you contribute and what your role is. There's various roles in the circles, whether it's you're the chair or the treasurer, and there are formal and informal roles that you can follow, and these roles are also variable. So not one person is just the note taker or the one who hosts the meetings, but there's always in every circle, no matter what the circle is, there's always this one person who's the driver, that has that fire in their belly, as one of my colleagues would say, that just ignites everyone and gets everyone excited to accomplish, to help each other. So taking that responsibility, and sharing that responsibility as well, to everyone. So, and even though we have bylaws and forms, it is a way of simplifying. One of our values is to make things simple. If you want to meet every Saturday, every first Saturday of the month, or if you just want to be as comes first and you book it to be determined in a per meeting basis. And the last value is also to provide peer support. So you are an extension of PARO, and following the values of cooperation, ownership, responsibility, simplification, and peer support. Some of the circle benefits are that you get to be a peer mentor of a subject matter expertise. So say that you are, as you yourselves have your businesses, you might be an expert in your business. And so you have marketing or you have product design. So whatever your business is, that would be your subject matter expertise that you get to bring to the group. So, and you get also to be supported by like-minded women that are in your circle, but it's not limited just to have your own circle members. We are seeing other circles meeting with each other and cross sharing, cross supporting each other and promoting each other businesses. You have access to one-on-one counseling. You're part of a bigger ecosystem that supports you. You have access to share knowledge, as I mentioned, from all PARO staff or from all PARO circles. And you get business development training as well, from financial literacy to soft skills. Every Wednesday, like this webinar, we have a free webinar, and it varies from topics or marketing or even like communication skills, writing proposals, anything like that. And even if you have a need, if you're excuse me, if you are looking for specific training and it's not there, you can always suggest that PARO offers it. So it's really good. It's not limited to what we're offering. We can always expand based on your needs. So it's sharing with PARO more access to financing. Also, you get to be featured in our PARO newsletters, in our PARO social media channels, as a circle member, as a circle group, and you also have the opportunity to be nominated and get awarded as PARO Circle of the Year at our annual events. And you get discounts for these events and sometimes even freebies. So you never know. Those are the benefits and way much more as you become and as you start participating and being an active circle member. I expanded this a little bit more because it is a really great opportunity currently that we're offering to all circle members, not limited just to circle members. Any one of you here today can have access for a 1 year to a one-on-one, like basic business training. Business development training. So if you started your business and you're like, my goodness, I don't know what is marketing, what is accounting, what is operations, we got that covered. Whoever you're working with, let them know you want to enroll in the PARO Go Forth training. It is free to you, and it's a value of 195 plus tax. For all PARO clients and all PARO Circle members, it is a free offer right now. So I would email Circles at PARO or whoever you're working with, letting them know I want into this. And there are a self-learning platform, so you get access to all of these modules regarding business, and you get to access them and learn them. You take the quizzes if you want, you download the handouts if you like. So it's really a learning as you go. And the fantastic thing is that whoever you're working with, and if you're not working with anyone right now at PARO, you will be assigned someone to discuss what you're learning. So if you're learning about marketing and you're wondering, how do I apply this marketing theory to my business or my business idea? You got a PARO counselor that you can discuss that, and they can easily fit that for you and help you develop that plan. Okay, so fantastic opportunity. Email your counselor or BGA, and if you don't, just email Circles at PARO, and we can match you up with someone, get you all set up and register for it. So that's like a big benefit right now. PARO Circles exist across Ontario. As of today, we have 179 circles and 161 communities across Ontario. So we serve everywhere, and your members in your circle can belong from anywhere in Ontario. So if you are in Ottawa and you want someone in Thunder Bay, or you have met someone that is in Thunder Bay, you can have that type of hybrid circles, definitely. So there's no limits. Networking and getting to know each other at the end of the month with the Circle Lab networkings is the fantastic opportunity that you get to meet everyone. Okay, so the circle formation process takes in the stages of group development that are famously seen in group developments, HR, and also in group development. So we follow from forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So a little bit more fit to the circles. When you're forming, you're coming to the webinars, you are learning about each other, you're going to the networkings, you're starting to form, and you have some women that you're talking about, and you're finding out what their weaknesses, what their strengths, you're sharing what you can contribute with them, and you're asking them what their purpose of joining the circle. Some circle members join for the purpose of really getting access to the financing and providing support to others. And it's not that you cannot just do that, but the circles are for supporting each other with the bonus, the cherry on top, the grants and the loans. But I mean, during these times, a lot of circles have formed with the purpose of getting that financing accessible to them, because there is very little financing out, and grants and loans are really not something that are available, really. And then you start storming. Once you have your group, once you have the other 3 women and yourself 4, you start asking them more questions. What will your role be? What do you see how do you see yourself in the circle? And learning about each other's businesses, and trying to come up with what roles you're going to be performing in each. Once you start, you have that clear, you go into the norming stage, where you're actually now completing the documents. You are filling out the memberships, you're maybe paying your fees, and submitting for board approval. Once you're done with that, you go into the performing stage. Now you're meeting as an official PARO circle. You're approving your loans and grants. You have your open account already, and you're performing. And you can be in the performing stages for years. Since the beginning, we have circles that have been in existence for 20 years. Some of the members are still remaining, and others have come and go. So then it's moving to the adjourning stage, whether you're having new members join your circle, leaving members of your circle, and thinking that you can have up to 7 members. So it's really for the duration of existing of the circle, you can stay existing for a long time. So that is the stages of the group development. A little bit more as a timeline as to how that is taken is that, so you're coming to the informations, you have met your women, and now you have given yourself a name, and you give yourself a name that is catchy, that represents you, that everybody agrees on, that feels good to you to be called yourselves PARO Circle. I had a wonderful meeting last week with a group of women, and we were brainstorming together what their name would be. And they're like, we just want to name ourselves moving forward, but what are the what is this, how can we put that together? So they call themselves now the Dream Chasers. They're chasing their dreams, and that's really what they're doing. They're going for it. 2 of them are going for it. They haven't started their business yet, but they're in the process of doing so. So really, it's decided together. And if it's something that that is not, that you can not that you cannot do on your own, but that you need that assistance of someone just cheerleading you. I myself can be there, or whoever you're working with can attend that meeting and help you brainstorm better what names. Also, to make sure that the name is not already taken. So we have dream chasers, we have dream catchers, we have dream builders. We also had a game changer circle in Ottawa and a game changer circle in North Bay. So I'm like, goodness. They call themselves the Ottawa Game Changers. So making sure that the name is not already taken, and if it is, making a little adjustment. So it's always good to check in with your PARO counselor. Once you have your name, you can start completing your documentations, paying your dues, submitting for board approval, and then getting your account set up. Once that is done, you're formed officially as a circle. You can start meeting, and you can start right away applying for the loan. So at that moment, once the account is set up, you are eligible to start accessing the grants and the loans. So the circle account that is required for each circle to establish is called the emergency fund account. And it is for that, for emergencies, for the purpose of holding funds in reserve to prevent loan defaults. So I will go through the stages of funding of the 4 of them and what the payments are. So you want to have at least one minimum payment of the outstanding loan or loans in that account. And it's for that, just to prevent any default. So if you're not able to pay, you took out the loan and now it's July and you're not able to make the payment for August, you're looking ahead and you're thinking, my finances are not stable, I really need something. So you're gonna go into your emergency fund and use those funds in there to pay that loan. Always make sure you talk to your circle, always make sure you talk to PARO counselor. If finances are tight, then we can make any adjustments, and it's per need basis. Not everyone is the same. Some people might need to be changed the date that the payment comes out. Some might need the amount to be reduced. Some might need just the interest to be deferred, and others may be just putting a whole pause on the payments until further. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's 2 months. So it's whatever your need is. Definitely is always worth to communicate that with PARO and with the staff that you're working with. So that is the circle formation, the account, the process, a little bit of information, but that's just the circle formation. I want to go into the loan application process and what that looks like very briefly, but I will take any questions about the circle formation if there's any. Feel free to unmute yourself, put in the chat, and we can take it from there.
So we did have 2 questions here, Nefri. I believe I've answered the first one, but the second one, she wanted you to expand on the grants.
Okay, I am going to do that soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then for the monthly meetings, are they meant to be more just your group, or is there supposed to be a PARO counselor at every single one?
Right, that's a really good question. It's just the group yourselves. It's always good that you can invite your PARO counselor, whoever you're working with. Maybe there's the new programs, or maybe there is something new that they can help you with, or elaborate a little bit more on what you can do together. So yeah, absolutely, it's up to you. It's decided by the group whether you want the circle representative there, PARO representative, or you just want to do it yourself. A lot of circles meet on their own, and I have been invited to many circle meetings. Usually the first meeting, just to get the feeling of what that looks like and how the feeling of meeting together would be. So yes.
Sorry, you can't see me. I just put my hand down.
Oh no.
So sorry, but this is bad timing on my camera problem.
Oh, good.
My question for you on the counselors and the network is twofold. So understand that once we are assigned a counselor, we can invite them, or we can just reach out to them if our circle has any questions that the few of us in the circle can't. I think we've got 5 right now, can't solve from a business perspective, like a business development perspective. So are you saying in terms of resources that we can ask our counselor the question, we can use the PARO Go Forth training as a resource for information, or the webinars? And then how do we access the other circles? So like, I mean, I just introduced myself as, a fractional chief marketing officer. For somebody, say if I needed some advice on, I'm making it up, like, legal advice or something.
Yeah.
And, the women in my group are all food people, like they all have their own food business. So how would I go about accessing within the PARO network, somebody who can help us with like legal advice?
Oh, that's a great, juicy question. So absolutely. PARO currently is building a database, which you heard some of our staff mentioning that. And this vendor database will be for that purpose, that it'll be open to everyone, including the circle members, to access. And it'll be a profile of you, what your expertise is, where your business is at, your contact information, and links to everything regarding your business. So that is in the process of being developed. Currently, the way that you could do that is by communicating that need to your PARO counselor or business counselor. So whoever you're working with would be fantastic that you let them know, I would like to meet more circle members who are experts in this subject and who have this expertise.
Okay,
Yes,
great. Thank you.
for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the presentation. Thank you for the questions, everybody. Now let's talk about the PARO financing, the grants and the loan that comes with these circles. So they're small business loans, and they are approved by you, the members. So 4 of you are in the circle, 1 of you is applying, the 3 need to approve it. So it's approved by everybody except the applicant. It offers you the control and the ownership, as the PARO values mention, that you can decide when you want to take out the loan, the grant, when you want to, what you want to spend it on. Really, you can spend it on anything except paying any old debt. Easy stuff. So you can buy a cell phone, get a laptop, you can pay for a course, a certification, you can buy a new fridge, you can, anything that it's related to your business development or professional development can be used the money for. It encourages you to do the peer support, because you want to have the decision made in your circle meetings. When you meet in the monthly meetings, you can express, I'm thinking about expanding my business, or I'm thinking about getting a certificate, or I need to pay. Some circles have used it to pay their Adobe memberships, to pay their Zoom accounts even. So it's really up to what need do you have in your business that you can use these grants and loans for. And also encourage community participation in that sense, with the loans come out from our community futures development corporations. We call them CFDCs. And they are the ones who do the loan in the FedNor territory. In the FedNor territory, just give me a moment. I'll share with you what the regions are. So for the FedNor territory, we have north and central, north central, northeast, and northwestern Ontario. And for the FedDev territory, which is Ottawa, Toronto, Kingston, anywhere in the GTA area.
Jeffrey, we can't see the map.
No, I know. My apologies. I don't have it. I just have notes. I'm just sharing that. So I don't have a specific map of that. Um, but for those who are in those regions, the lender is Alterna Savings. So it encourages community participation because you would need to meet with them as well and communicate with them too. So that's what the loans are. For anyone to access this, have to be an active circle member. So your membership would need to be approved, as well, paid, as well as everyone in your circle who's approving them. And you need to be a women-owned business, of course, and you want to meet at least one of the three criteria for the grant. So either the business that you're applying for the income of that business meets the low income cutoff of your community, and this is only for that business. So if you have a full-time job or a part-time job, your spouse has a full-time job, or even you have two businesses, if you're applying to get business development goals for one business, you only would take a look at the income of that business, okay, not a collective of everybody and all the income that you make. The second criteria is that you're either currently unemployed, so you just have your business to pay your bills and your livelihoods, or you will be unemployed in the near future. So you're working currently, but you're in contract, and you need that support from the circle funding to get your business goals met. In the near future is anywhere from a week from today, a month, a year. So really a year is the near future in this term. And the third criteria is that you either have a disability with a condition that meets your employability or the way that you perform your work. So you won't be able to get employed, so you have your business, but you do it in a limited way. So you definitely need the support. You can meet all three criteria, but at least one of them have to be checked off when you apply. And the thing is, we don't say, we don't police that, okay, show me the income of your business, or show me that you have a disability, or show me that you actually won't have a job. So all of this is based on character. And we just, as long as one of them is checked off, there's no questions asked. And I see that Karen raised your hand.
Hi, sorry, yes.
Good.
Okay, sorry, too bad you guys can't see me. So I wanted to just clarify, so there, because that's the question I got to bring back to my group. So the difference between the loan versus the grant.
Yes.
So what you just talked about in terms of you have to have a certain low income threshold, that's related to your business. And is that just for the grants, so the non-repayable portion? So I'm a little bit unclear. So I'll give you a different a scenario, maybe you can help me understand.
Yes.
So I've just started my consulting business. I actually have just picked up a client, but let's assume I had not picked up this client yet.
Yes.
So I am actually in the startup phase where I need to go and pay for a Zoom account and laptop and all that kind of stuff. But my husband actually is employed and has an income. I do not need to factor in his income into what I'm at right now as a business, because technically I have no clients, or my client or the income from my current business is not going to meet a certain criteria. Like I'm unclear on the criteria part.
No, I that is exactly it. So if your spouse has a business or employee,
Is it working?
They do not get included in that income cutoff.
Okay.
If you have a job,
yeah,
aside from your business, part-time, full-time contract, that income is not counted in that income cutoff. It's only and specifically to the business that you're applying to for.
And what is that number? Because the other women in my group have had their business for a while, so I need to actually report back what that
right in the application. As you're filling it out, the link is there in the application. So who is your counselor, Karen?
I think it's going to be Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verwey?
So Yeah, absolutely. And when you're ready for to apply for the grants and the loans, I usually offer a Zoom meeting where we can review the application together. We can review the steps and the requirements that are gonna that need to be provided for a complete loan application. And I'm going to say what they are soon.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
But you're right. Uh, it it does not include anyone, not your spouses, not your full-time job, or even your second business income. Only the income of the business that you're currently applying for, it's the income that will be counted.
I see. Okay, and
Okay.
that is for the loan.
For
Oh,
the
sorry,
loan and the grant. Yeah.
And
for
then what
both.
about for the loan?
Is this for the loan is the same application.
Okay.
So if we see that it's not checked off, then my responsibility before handing it to the board is to hop on a call with you and ask you a couple questions, saying like, did you look at the criteria, and just give you a review about them. And usually you always meet one or the other, for sure. So, and there is no that you need to provide income statements or nothing to support what you have checked off, because it's simply a criteria, because it is under the oh, I don't know which one it is, but it's because we are a registered charitable organization. CRA requires that when we give out grants, at least one of those criteria are met by the applicant.
Okay. And
Yes.
the loan is basically I guess I'll find out when I look at the application process in terms of like the interest rate that the loan
Right.
is charged at.
Yeah, so this is the criteria, and right here now is the stages of funding that comes.
Okay.
So there are 4 stages, and they're accessed consecutively. So you do have to access number 1, pay it off before getting to number 2, paying completely off that one, then number 3, and then number 4. The first 2 stages, stage 1 and stage 2, have a matching grant for you, for the opportunity to have that, given that you meet the criteria given in the application. And so far, in my 3 years of Circle Coordinator, and in my knowledge, we haven't declined a grant to anyone. So it's always, as long as the criteria is met and the circle has approved and signed the application of approval, you really are already approved. And the board, what the board does is they ratify those approvals, going through the applications, making sure that it was filled correctly, the business name, the business license is there, that you have a proper cash flow, that you have paid your membership, just ratifying, making sure that everything was actually as is required. But really, the approval starts at your circle meetings once you get that signature from your members. So first stage is $500 grant, $500 loan. You pay the $500 loan over a period of 9 months, 9 terms. The minimum payment for that is $60. Is usually less. So the interest rate is 10% or less, depending on your lender. Some lenders, if you're here in Thunder Bay, the Thunder Bay Ventures have about 5, and it ranges from 5 to 6, depending on what's going on in today's environment, climate, financial climate. The interests have been very low, lower than 5, but really depends on the CFTC and what their mandate and what their board has decided. But it's never more than 10%. Okay. And so you pay that off over the 9 months. You also have the opportunity to pay off the first, any of the stages, after 5 months of making 5 consecutive payments. So if you were approved and now July, you get the money in August, your first payment would be September. And then you count 5 months from there, you can pay that off fully and then access stage 2. And at stage 2, you get $1,000 loan and $1,000 grant, 9 months term, and the payment is about 120 or less, depending how they amortize with the interest rate for that lender, for sure. And same thing with that, you can fast track to access the next stage for after you have made 5 consecutive payments, or you can wait that 9 months. You don't have to. You can pay it out of in 6 months or in 7 months or the 8th month. It's however, but you definitely have to wait for the 5 consecutive payments monthly. Once you pay that off, you access stage 3, which is purely a loan. And that loan is $3,000, 27 months period term, and it's $120 of the payment. Same thing, 10% or less. You can pay it off in 5 months or wait 5 months or wait the 27 months. And then you access stage 4, which is a $5,000 loan only, 27 months, and the payment is 220, 10% or less of interest rate, depending on your lender. Once you have accessed all 4 stages, you really have the ability and eligibility to come back and take off only stage 3 and stage 4. And you can come back and take off, say you finish paying stage 4 and you really need another $5,000 loan, then you can apply for stage 4. Or maybe you just need 3,000, so you can go for stage 3 or stage 4. You can come back to those 2 stages for the duration of your circle membership. You can access them more than once, more than 3 times, as many times as you need to, given that you have obviously the proper complete application. And I think I saw Karen also with your.
Sorry, I have a lot of questions. I have to report back. So can I just, for the purpose of sharing this document for my team tomorrow morning, because my meeting's at 9, would you be able to, in this slide, just also list out how you go from one stage to the next? So in terms of, like you said, from stage 1 to 2, after you've repaid, I think 5 payments or something, or whatever it is, then we can go to the next stage. And then, like, if you can just put that in the notes so that I don't have to write it down, I can just send the document.
And I can send you that too.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, for sure, I will do that. So how about you send me an email to circles@PARO.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing this here. I'll just put it in the chat. And everyone, you can copy my email here. Send me any questions you have. I can send you resources, handouts. I can give you this presentation as well. And I'm sure that you will also get a recording of this, but I'm not really sure how the logistics of that goes. So I'm going to leave it to Kylie after to explain that to you, how that's going to be accessible to you. So, but yeah, absolutely. I will be able to send this to you if you just let me know that you were at the circle meeting and you want the PowerPoint, or you want more information. I can send anything to you.
Great, thank you.
For sure. So that was the stages of the financing. As just a little bit of details, the loan is paid at the declining balance. So you have 500, you pay 60, then 60, then 440, and so on and so forth. Then the loan money, as I mentioned, is provided by the Community Futures Development Corporations all across Ontario, and they are everywhere in your community, especially smaller communities, but they don't exist in Ottawa or the big cities. So that's why we have partnered with Alternate Savings Credit Union for those who are in Ottawa, Toronto, GTA, Kingston, Barrie, Oshawa, and all of those bigger cities that are not required little in a way, or not mention little. So you have Alterna as your lender. All of the same steps, everything is in the same way done. When you are in those areas, the account, it is required to be open with Alterna Savings. Other than that, everybody else who's not in those areas, Ottawa, Toronto, GTA, you can choose the bank that you want to have that account at. And you will open it after you have been approved. You receive a letter that you can bring to that bank explaining what the purpose of that account will be, and to support that you will open it. You will open that account and the circle name that you have given yourself, so that is identified that way. There is a $10 loan application for processing the loan. So every time you apply for that, there's a $10 loan application fee, and that is just simply to set up the transfer. So it does not stay with PARO, it literally goes to the bank to be set up. Unfortunately, we couldn't get rid of those fees, but it's only $10. We managed to get it to that. Only the stage 1 and stage 2 are with grants, as I mentioned, and the interest is 10% or less for all of the loans. All right, just a moment. So I see your hand raised, Karen. Did you have a question,
sorry.
or was that from previously?
Sorry, I'll take it off. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's all right. I just wanted to make sure I didn't ignore you. Okay, so why do people apply for the loans? They either have no credit history, or you have a poor credit history, but you also might have an excellent credit history, but you only want a $500, and you want to benefit from having the grant, just paying off half of that. So because we don't do any credit check, either with alternate credit union or the CFDCs, and the reason is because you have us to work with you. We will do the cash flow with you. We encourage you to participate in financial literacy webinars. We will walk you through one-on-one with the PARO Go Forth, making sure that you are well, equipped with the financial literacy, and we have in place the emergency fund that prevents anyone from going into default. So there is no need for us to do the credit history because of all of that cushions that we have in place in case of any default. No collateral cash or equity to put down on any loans is required, and if you don't have that, it's perfect for you. Also, the amount is really small for any banks and all of that. So really good benefits and reasons. So the loan application timeline, I just want to actually do this first. But I want to make it just a little big. So the complete loan application, once you're formed as a circle, I always offer that I walk you through the application for either if it's just yourself or the entire group. And so just showing you, going through the loan application, the key areas that you want to complete, walking you through that criteria again, and for the signatures, because of how things are going right now, maybe some of you are meeting in person or maybe not. But regardless, we have going forward the opportunity that we can collect signatures electronically on your behalf for the entire circle. So, and that includes for circle formation as well. Any signatures that you need for forming your circle can be taken care of with us. Just let me know, let your BGA know, and they can give me the message. We will send it out to you and to the members. So your loan application will have to be signed by all members before sending for board approval and submission. You will need to provide a copy of your Circle Bank account showing at least one minimum payment for that outstanding loan or loans that are being applied for. So for example, as a new circle, half your members will be able to apply in the first 5 months of being a circle. After the 5 months of being a circle, everyone in the circle can have the loans and the grants out. So at the beginning, for 2 of you to apply for the first stage, if you remember, the payment was $60 in the emergency fund. Therefore, you want to have 120 if 2 of you are applying for that loan and grant. Okay. And as I mentioned, we want to make sure that the e-fund, the emergency fund, is opened, established in the circle's name, and it shows the current month that you're applying for, and it shows the balance. So if you're applying for July, we want to see dream catchers, July 2021, balance 120 or $60. And if there's already a loan taken out, but you're applying for stage 1, then they have to be a payment for each of the outstanding loans. Okay. With stage 1 and stage 2, because it's a 9-month term, it is required to provide a 12 months cash flow, a 1-year cash flow, projected cash flow. If you've never done a cash flow, we're here to help. I've done many cash flows, and we can always help you with. A cash flow is a snapshot of your current financial situation in a way of what cash do you have in and what cash do you have out, and what's the surplus or the deficit. You always want to make sure that you project and you have a surplus in a sense. If your business is seasonal, the cash flow will reflect itself, because you will see that if it's seasonal in the summer, then the summer months will have a lot of income and a lot of surplus. And then you see that the winter months are in deficit, so they're minus. And then that's why maybe you need the loan, or maybe you're covering with the earnings from the busy months to cover the not so busy month. So the cash flow really has to reflect whether your business is seasonal or full-time all year round. The cash flow itself too wants to reflect what you're applying for. So if in the application you mention, I want to get a laptop for $1,000, in the cash flow, you want to have that laptop, $1,000. Internet. So it's all of your services, all of your expenses, and all of the income that the cash flow will show, and any grants or loans that you're coming in, or payments that you're having. The other thing that would be required is that each member has an active circle membership, meaning it's paid for that year. Because you will be a new circle member, you will automatically have that checked off. But if you're an established circle and you paid last year's and you need to apply for this year, then I will follow up with you, letting you know that, okay, we have your application, we need your members to pay. And no worries that you have to know everything. As you can always send an email a month from now, a year from now, when you are ready to apply, saying, I am Nefri, I'm from this circle, I want to apply for this stage. Can you give me the details? And I am more than gladly to send you all of the updated documentation that you need, and all of the required checklist or step-by-steps. So, and the other thing that you would need to provide is a void or a banking information for us in order to deposit those funds directly to you. And also that banking account that you will provide is where the loan payment will be automatically withdrawn by the lender each month. Okay. If you are in Ottawa, Toronto with Alterna, then you will have to establish your own individual account for that purpose, regardless whether you already have another bank account in the business or for yourself. If you don't have an Alterna savings account, you would need to open an Alterna savings for yourself for the purpose of depositing and getting the grant and the loan deposited into. And I can answer these questions when you're ready to form your circle or to apply for it. And the account, there's a code for it to open that account. So don't go ahead and open it on your own. And then you have to close it and open it in the accurate way. So once you're formed as a circle and you're in the Ottawa, Toronto, GTA area, and you're ready to apply for your loan, always make sure you let me know or the BGA that you're working with, counselor, that you're ready. And then they will say, okay, you're gonna need this code to open your account. And the last thing to do for a complete application is a $10 application fee. You can pay it in PayPal, e-transfer, or check. Okay, we're almost done. So the timeline goes that at the beginning of the month, you maybe have met with the circle last month, or you're meeting with the circle. Before the 15th of the month, you want to decide you're going to apply for whatever stage you're going to apply. Then at that moment, you don't have to have everything completed until the 15th. So even today, women are sending me their applications, and then I'm going to send it through DocuSign for signatures. I hope to get it by tomorrow. The last day to submit, the last time to submit is every 15th of the month at the end of day. And I usually, if the 15th falls in a weekend, then you have more time to submit to the following Monday. But because it's in the middle of the week, I usually give you till the Friday to get all of that documentation ready. And then on the 20th of the month, I send the whole folder to the PARO board. Within 3 to 5 days, sometimes 10 days, they sent me their written approval, and I received the letter. And then I follow up with you, letting you know, hey, you've been approved. Now, either whether you're in the with Alterna, then you are going to open your individual account. If you're not, then you're going to just receive the loan the 10th of the following month. So you applied at the beginning of the month. By the 15th, you want to have everything complete and ready, submitted. And if you need signatures still on the 15th, there's no panic. I always follow up with your members and making sure that they have the signatures. You need at least 3 signatures, okay? So if you have 5 members, talk to at least 3 of them and making sure that they know you're going to apply and you need their support for the signatures. If you're still needing to provide your banking information on the 15th, you want to at least make sure that you have it before the 20th to me, which is when I send it to the board officially. That is the very last day to actually send everything complete. But I hope to have everything on the 15th so that I'm sorting through and making sure everything is complete and checked off for the 20th. And then on the 25th, you will receive, somewhere between the 25th and the 30th, you'll receive my loan approval. There's a lot of other documents to be working on and getting signatures, getting the board to sign, getting checks ready, getting the money lined up to be dispersed. So it's a bit of a back-end process, but I'm always communicating with you. And you always want to have your BGA counselor be in touch with them, to be talking to them. For those in the Northern Ontario region, the grant is called a non-repayable portion. That non-repayable portion, in order to receive that, you do need to provide proof of purchase and payment receipts. So you will be approved, and on the 10th of the following month, you will receive most likely the loan first from the lender. After you send the application on the 15th, you can start making arrangements to purchase whatever you need, so you can have the receipts ready for the following month, so you can have everything deposited. The grant comes from PARO, and the loan comes from the CFDC, or the CFDC if you're in Northern Ontario. If you're in Alterna will give you both of them. So right into your account. You have up to 3 months after the approval to submit those receipts. So you don't have to submit them right away. So what most of the women do, once you receive the loan on the following 10th of the month, so if you were approved in July, you submit for tomorrow, you'll be approved by this month, you'll receive money in August. If you're in Northern Ontario, you will receive the loan first in August, by August 10th. And if you have the receipts before August 10th, then you can receive the grant in August 10th as well. However, if you don't have them yet, you can use the loan money to make the purchases that you said you were going to do in the application, and maybe even put some of your of the remainder in your maybe credit card, but you will get that money, so you can pay that credit card, or you can pay, you get that back to you, and submit those receipts. Once you submit those receipts, you will get that grant within 2 days. So it is usually the Thursday that we disperse the grants. So yes, that is for Northern Ontario. Non-repayable portions in Northern Ontario requires proof of receipts of purchase and payment to receive the grant. And you can start making purchases right after you submit on the 15th of the month. That is considered, once you have all submitted, it's considered that you've been already processed, and you can start making arrangements. The reason we require the receipts is not for PARO, is because FedNor provides PARO for the grants, and we don't have the money in our possession. They give it to us as is approved. So you are approved in this month, then we send them the receipts, and they themselves gives us the money so that we deposit it to you. So because of FedNor, because FedNor is doing the providing the grants, we do require the receipts. Other than that, and it was only official since October 2019. So since then on, we've been supported by FedNor with the grants because of the growth that we've had with the circles across Ontario. For anyone else in Northern Ontario, the grants come strictly from PARO's pocket. All of our membership fees, half of that goes to PARO Grant Fund, and half of that goes to paying the fees that is to process. And also fundraisers and donations and giving back that some circles do. So all of the grants that goes to the members are from other women, other donations, and other fundraisers that we've done. All right, so yeah, same thing in there, the complete application for both. And I'm going to end. That was the loan application process. So the loan application process starts at the beginning of the month. By the 15th, you want to have everything complete and start making arrangement for your purchases. You will receive the money the following 10th of the month. And yeah, those in Northern Ontario require receipts of purchase and payment. Those not in Northern Ontario are good to go, and you can start purchasing and the items that you applied for. So I'm gonna stop sharing, and we can have a discussion. Any questions? That I fried your brains? I apologize. I know it's a lot, and I probably lost a few. So ask away. Okay, so if there's no questions in any way, feel free to reach out to my email and I can send you any information you need. Or just feel free to reach out to your counselor that you're working with and keep working with them. Any questions that you have, you may ask them.
Oh, we
And
do
if
have
they're
one hand raised here. Neff.
fantastic. Yes,
Uh,
Odessa.
Hi, thank you for that information. It was a lot to take in. Sorry if I missed it, but how do we go about forming our own circle moving forward?
Absolutely. So as a good recap, you want to have yourself and 3 other women join you. Once you have that, are you working with someone right now? And if you're not, you can send me an email and we can connect you with someone depending on where you're at. Once you have that set up to work with someone, they will walk you through the process and they will meet with you in what is called an onboarding meeting. So they will review, we have PARO bylaws and an agreement form and just the steps that you need to take to form your circle. So first step, look for 3 other women that you can have in your circle as is self-selected. To do that, you can do it here. You can do it in your networks. You can do it with your friends or your colleagues or anyone that comes into mind that you're like, oh, I want to be part. I want them to be part here. I want to meet with them. I want to talk to them about my business. I want to learn about them and get to know them in a professional way. If you don't have those women, we have every month. And I'm not sure, Kylie, if you know when the next Circle Up event is, but it's a networking event that you can come for the purpose of meeting women who are looking to form or join a circle.
It's the last Thursday of every month.
Okay. So it's the last Thursday of every month. And how do people get notice for that?
So for that, we do post it on all of our social media. Otherwise, to sign up for it, I'll get you the email of our coordinator for that, Andrea Zapp. I will put it in the chat, her email in order to sign up.
Okay, so it's on the July 29th. It's a Thursday, July 29th, and it's usually after hours, so 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Email our colleague and she coordinates it really well. You can meet more women in there and you can attend as many meetings in there. You just chat and discover. Also, don't be discouraged that forming a circle can take a bit of time. It's not going to be, you're going to be a circle member tomorrow, but maybe if you're depending on the area that you are, and if there is already an existing circle that is looking for members and you happen to meet them, it could be very quick as tomorrow or next week that you can belong to a circle. If you happen to meet someone that is looking for circle members to expand their circle or keep growing. So that is the one step, is to getting 3 other women, 4 including yourself, to get ready and started. Once you have that, you can work with your counselor. If you don't have one, I am here for you, circles@paro.ca. I can connect you with them. And if there's, if you're in my area or if there's no one to connect you with, I will be the one working with you directly to help you form your circle and walk you through all of the steps. Okay, it's a really good question to just recap everything.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. No more questions, Kylie? All yours.
All right, so I have just put into the chat, there are several different links. If we have links there for our social media, our webinars, our PARO staff. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to email myself or Nefri. Nefri is again at circles@paro.ca. Mine is communications@paro.ca. If you would like a recording of today's session, again, please feel free to email me. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for coming, and we hope to see you as one of our new circles or at one of our next events. All right, thanks everybody.